Alright, this instructional video is going to show us how to create quiz questions, which is something we always want to do in the question library. And we're going to use as an example the shell that deals with the core curriculum assessments. So let's get started. Everyone has on their D2L landing page a link to the core curriculum objectives shell right here. So I'm going to click on that so we go into that shell. Next, you click on quizzes on this gray menu bar, and immediately then we're going to go to the question library. And here we're going to see a number of folders with faculty's names on them. So you want to go ahead and locate the folder, or folders really, with your name on them. So let's use for an example this teamwork folder that Bev has. Well, Bev is just about to go ahead and get started while I'm making this recording, so she has no questions or anything in there yet. But what she would do is come over here to New and click that, and then we see a number of different types of questions that can be created. And we can go with some true-false for this core curriculum assessments folder, because maybe we want to include a few of those. Mostly though, we're working with these multiple choice questions, so I'll click on that, and here's what we see. Everything is empty, of course, because we didn't create a question in this folder yet. We have the title. We do want to leave that blank. Here's the text, where the text for the question goes, in this question text box here. And then we have, it defaults to 1, 2, 3, 4 choices for correct answers. So we would put a correct answer in, and then we would have 3 other answers. And the correct answer, let's say it's this one, we would change this from 0 points earned to 100 points earned. And it's probably easier, we don't need that message. Yes, let's not show that message again. Sorry about that. Okay, it's probably easier to look at this in a folder that has some completed questions. So let's go to, let's say, social responsibility, Susan Dean, and we'll take a look at what Susan did. Now you see, we can see questions, and when we leave blank, I'm going to use the back button here. See, when we leave blank the title up here, that's a good idea, because then what we get, I'll click on Susan Dean's folder again, we get the question text over here, and then it's easier to see what question we're dealing with. Okay, so let's choose randomly just this first question by Susan Dean, and we'll see an example of things that are filled in on a multiple choice question. Again, Susan left this blank, that's fine. Here's the question itself. So she put the question in there, and everybody would probably be served well to compose this in Microsoft Word and save it, and then copy and paste from Microsoft Word into this box. You want a Word document as a backup, so you'll always have that in case we lose this information somehow. And then we look what Susan did here. Well, she just left this at vertical, and then she puts an answer here. She filled in possible answers, multiple choice answers for everything, but notice these last 3 are 0, 0, 0. So if we know those are wrong answers, because if students choose one of those 3, they get 0 points. Here's the correct answer for 100 points. And very important, randomize options, Susan checked that box, because these answers 1 through 4 will appear in different random order for different students. So that's what we want to minimize the possibility of cheating. And then when she's done, she would just click save, and now we have a question in there. Come back here, and that's what she did for each of these questions. And so that's really how you create quizzes in the question library, quiz questions I should say, in the quiz library. Creating quizzes, that's another video that we'll save for another time. But I hope everybody finds this helpful, and of course, if you ever have questions, just let me know. Thanks.